Hello, welcome to my channel. Let's begin in Ebonyi State, where a painful case has remained unsolved for years is back in the spotlight. The families of five engineers working for Nelan Consulting Limited have petitioned the National Judicial Council, the Nigerian Bar Association, the National Assembly, and other authorities demanding a fresh investigation into how the case has been handled. The engineers disappeared in 2022 while supervising an African Development Bank funded road project in Ebonyi State. Since then, they have never been found. Nobody knows for certain whether they are alive or dead.
I don't know. He doesn't look for people's trouble. If there's anything, why won't they just help us to release these people alive? I don't want anything dead. Because my husband left here alive.
The police PRO order said it. That they don't know whether they are dead or alive. So who gave the governor that information?
That knows what it means for somebody to say that somebody is dead. They are not, we are not, in fact. I don't know.
What is making the case controversial is what the families say they discovered in certified court records. According to the petition, some of the suspects charged in connection with the alleged kidnapping were granted bail. The families also claim that some later benefited from an amnesty program introduced by the Ebonyi State government. Now, even more surprising is they allege that several suspects repeatedly failed to appear in court, leading to delays in the trial. The families are now asking a simple question. How can a court case involving people who disappeared without trace continue to suffer repeated delays while some suspects were granted bail and reportedly received amnesty before the matter was concluded? Another issue has also raised eyebrows. Former Ebonyi State Governor and current Minister of Works, David Umahi, have publicly stated that the engineers were killed. Yet, according to the families, the court proceedings have continued mainly as a kidnapping case, while the bodies of the engineers have never been recovered. Because of these unanswered questions, the families are asking judicial authorities to investigate the handling of the case and ensure justice is done. This story reminds us that justice is not only about arresting suspects. It is about ensuring that the victims' families are not left with more questions than answers. Remember, this is IGBOLAND news as we continue. From Ebonyi, we move to national politics. Peter Obi has thrown down what many see as one of the strongest political challenges, yet responding to repeated allegations by his former spokesman, Kenneth Okonkwo. Obi said he is ready to withdraw from the 2027 presidential race if Kenneth can produce credible evidence showing that he is unfit to become Nigeria's president.
Sued your ex-wife ally, Kenneth Okonkwo, to court.
Yes.
He has said that that is anti-democratic because it's a question of freedom of speech, that other people he attacked on your behalf did not sue him to court. Why should you?
Kenneth Okonkwo said, as my spokesperson, he has so many hidden things that if he's provoked or sued, he will bring out. And that's the only thing I'm suing him, to bring those things out, because we must now examine the background of those who want to serve. We are tired of getting in there and we find out that they used to do this, they used to do that. Let's examine it now so that if I'm not qualified, I'll withdraw.
So you want to bring everything out?
Everything.
All those evidence he said.
All the evidences, all those things that he was been hiding from me, I want him to put it on the table. So that I can now be able to say, based on this, I cannot continue. Right. I'm one of those who believe that we now need to thoroughly examine the background of those who want to serve. Kenneth Nan holds key to all those things I'm going to hide. I want him to bring it to the table. That's all.
Right.
I'm not suing him for any other thing.
So once he brings those things out, you drop the case.
That's it.
And that is a bold statement. Obi is not asking Nigerians to simply believe him. He is saying, if you have evidence against me, if it truly proves I am unfit, I will step aside. And according to Obi, his lawsuit against Kenneth Okonkwo is not about stopping criticism. He says it is about giving Nigerians the opportunity to see whatever evidence Kenneth claims to have. You remember Kenneth Okonkwo said he has more to spill. Okay, right on. Carry on, let's see. But while Obi is asking for evidence from Kenneth Okonkwo, he's also making serious allegations against the federal government. Obi recently said he fears for his safety and suggested that people are being discouraged from associating with him. He also claimed that the businesses linked to him are facing pressure. The presidency has strongly rejected those claims through presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga. The presidency described Obi's allegation as false, misleading, and intended to attract public sympathy. According to the presidency, the federal government has no reason to intimidate Peter Obi or stop him from contesting any future election. Once again, Nigerians are hearing two different versions of the same story. The this from what you hear. We know. Anyway, Peter Obi says there is pressure. The presidency says there is none. Only, some people will rely on evidence. Well, let's go to Enugu State. Sahara Reporters recently published an investigation claiming that residents of Urupa Ezimo community, the hometown of the deputy governor, Ifeanyi Osai, still depends on polluted stream shared with cattle, Enugu, because they lack clean drinking water. The report included photographs and interviews with residents who described years of hardship. However, the deputy governor's lawyer has now reacted. They have demanded that Sahara Reporters withdraw the story, apologize publicly, and reveal the identities of the people interviewed. Okay, they also warned that failure to do so would lead to defamation lawsuit. Wow, we're in a season of lawsuits. Interestingly, the lawyers did not simply argue that the community has no problem. Instead, they argued that the report unfairly suggested the deputy governor was personally responsible for the situation. That means the situation exists, but to tag his name on it. So that raises two important questions. Are residents truly suffering from the lack of clean water? Are they sharing water with Enugu? And if they are, is it fair to place personal responsibility on the deputy governor? That's another question. Those questions may eventually have to be answered through evidence and, if necessary, in court. Still in Enugu State, the state government has denied playing any role in the criminal case involving former Minister Uche Geoffrey Nnaji. Some people have alleged that Governor Peter Mba was behind the prosecution, and the government says that claim is false. According to the official statement, the case was filed in the name of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not Governor Mba. The government insists the governor neither initiated the case nor influenced the prosecution and urged Nigerians not to politicize the matter already before the courts. Again, the message is familiar. Let the legal process run its course. When you step back and look at all these stories together, one clear pattern emerges. The families of the missing engineers are asking for justice and answers. Peter Obi is challenging Kenneth Okonkwo to produce evidence. The presidency says Obi's allegations are false. The Enugu deputy governor says Sahara Reporters has damaged his reputation. Sahara Reporters stands by its investigation into residents' complaints. The Enugu state government says it has nothing to do with the prosecution of Uche Nnaji. Different stories, different people, but one common message. In today's Nigeria, almost every major issue is ending up in the same place: the court of law, the court of public opinion. That is why evidence matters. Allegations alone are not enough. Denials alone are not enough. Justice is strongest when it is built on facts, transparency, and accountability. For journalists, that means verifying every claim. For politicians, it means accepting public scrutiny. And for ordinary Nigerians, it means resisting the temptation to judge every story by emotion, by ethnicity, or party loyalty. The strongest opinion is not always the loudest one. The strongest opinion is the one backed by credible evidence. Deduce from what you hear. This is where I'll leave it for now. Please, if this is your first time of coming close to our channel and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please also share this video widely. I am Azuka OJ. Bye for now.